In the previous section, we look at decorative backgrounds and images. So in this lesson, we will continue by examining decorative borders and shadows. Like background colors, once we start using borders, we will be directly facing the underpinnings of HTML. Where does a span inside a paragraph begin and end? How far does it extend? We'll see how the various techniques for managing decorative CSS in this lesson. So the first property is the border style. So here's how you can use the border style property in your CSS. So this property sets the style of a border on which possible values include none, hidden, solid. So for solid, this is how it looks like: dotted, dash, double, groove, ridge, inset, and outset. So note that the groove, ridge, inset, and outset borders all use black in addition to any explicit border color. So if the border color is also black, they won't be effective. Also, the double, groove, and ridge are usually not satisfactory on thin borders. They will require a fat border width. So the difference between none and hidden has to do with the sizing and positioning of the element. So an item with a hidden border is positioned as if it had a border, but the border is not drawn. Whereas with border style none, no space is allocated for the border at all. And then for the border color, it sets the color of the border. The border width, it sets the width of the border. It supports a variety of units such as pixel, EM, and REM. Border abbreviations. All border styles just introduced are actually abbreviations that can be broken out if needed. So here is an example of how we use border styles. And this same thing can be done with border width and border color. Or in other direction, the CSS property border can help abbreviate even farther. So use the formula border colon. The width in this case is 1 pixel, and the style in this case is solid, and color is gray, separating the values with spaces. Border radius. So sometimes it seems that the whole of the World Wide Web consists of round cornered rectangles. So as you can see here, this CSS code will result in this border, in this round cornered rectangle. Box shadow. So a shadow effect can be applied to the outlining rectangle of an element with the box shadow CSS property. This property is typically controlled with 4 values separated by spaces. So here, the offset, this example of using box shadow property, the offset values are dimension units, like pixel or EM can be positive or negative. Positive X values place the shadow to the right and negative values place the shadow to the left. Similarly, the positive Y values place the shadow vertically lower than the element and negative values move it up. The blur value is also a dimension unit but can only be 0 or positive. So look at this example. So this first example results in this kind of box shadow, and for this second example, this is the result for that. Text shadow. So this property takes the same values as box shadow. However, the shadow is applied directly to the text shape. So in this example, we use the text shadow property with an X offset value. For its X offset, we gave it a value of 1 pixel. For the Y offset, 1 pixel also, and 3 pixel for the blur. And the color is black. And this is the result.